So now we're on to the next part. So public icon. And we're gonna go get icon. We got two parameters, inside and into meta for the metadata. What we're gonna it's bitching at us because we're not returning anything. We're gonna go if side is equal to 1, then we're gonna return top. Okay, so 1 is the top, 0 is the bottom, 3 is the front, 2 is the back. And then probably 4 is left or right, 5 is left or right. So we've done the top. Now we're gonna go else. Else if side is equal to 3, which is the front, we're going to return front. Else we're going to return this dot block icon. There we go. Fantastic. Now we're going to go on to opening the code to open up the GUI. Now this is not going to work yet because we haven't created any of that. But we're at least going to, like I said, we're going through file by file. So whatever functions, what other methods are needed for that file are going to be put in, even if we're not using them for another two or three parts. So I'm going to go public boolean on block activated. So that's basically saying this is a function that's called when a block is right clicked. We need to pass in some parameters. World is the first one. Int x, int y, int z. I need entity player. We're going to call that player. And then we're going to need another int. We're just going to call it par6. And then we need some floats. We need 3 of those. So float par7, float par8, and float par9. Import entity player, Command Shift Control Shift O, and now it's going to want us to return something. So we're going to go player dot open GUI or open GUI, and we're going to go main class dot instance. Now that is the one part that I did leave in here from the last time, was when we put the instance into the main class. I left that. If you didn't leave that, I will jump over to that after we finishing this. We fill this out. We're going to go 0. And it's going to be world x, y, z. Perfect. And then return true. That's all we're going to do in there. Okay, so over in our main class file right here, public static main class. We're basically making an instance of our main class. I'm just going to call it instance. Okay. Actually, I got to add this whole section here. Add instance mod ID. So make sure you have that in your code. Right below your mod info. It doesn't actually matter where it's put as long as it's before our main class here. But putting it there is a good thing as well. And we actually put this in here. We're going to get rid of this GUI ID SP furnace. Get rid of it. Perfect. So now back to SP furnace class. We're going to move down here. And so on block activated is done. So now we're going to do what is returned or what item is dropped when the block is dropped or broken or whatever. So we're going to go int par1 random and then int par3 and import item net.minecraft.item And we're going to go return item dot get item, or get item from block, and then we're going to go to main class dot sp furnace idle dot active. Cool. Cool. We're done with that one. We got another one here. So public item get item, and this one here has world int par 2, int par 3, and int par 4. But it has the exact same return as this one, so we're just going to grab that and paste that in there. So these two should have the same line within them, but they're two different functions. So now we're gonna start doing stuff for how, when the block is placed, make sure it's facing the right way, and so on and so forth. So we're gonna go at side only, side.client, public void on block added, and we're going to be seeing a lot of this world stuff, and int x, int y, and int z. Balls that up. There we go. Fancy. Now we're going to type in super.onBlock added world x, y, z. That's fine. And then we're going to go this dot direction world, so this dot direction, open parentheses, world x, y, and z. Save. That one's finished. Again, there's an error there, but it's fine. It's fine. So we're done with that one. Now we got 2 more to go in here, and these ones are actually 3 more, 4 more, 5 more, 5 more. 5 more functions. It's going to be a good day. So anyway, we're going to start this direction. So direction is actually a function that we're going to create. So this stuff direction, we can hover over this, we can go create method, which is going to create this method for us. And it's going to give us all the stuff that we need, which is fancy. So I'm just going to kind of get rid of these extra spaces there. We're going to get started on this one. So now this one is where we're going to say, okay, this side is this side is this side, and this side is this side, and so on and so forth. So first thing we need to do is to check if the world is remote. So if it is not remote, actually that's wrong. So you want to put exclamation mark world dot is remote, and so if it is not remote, then we're going to do stuff. We're going to go block direction 1, and I completely spelled it direction 1. Actually, that's just direction is equal to world dot get block x, y, z. Now I'm going to copy this a few times. We got some stuff to do with it. So it's 3, 4, 5. We need to have it 4 times. We're going to import net.minecraft.block, and we're just going to go. So there's going to be direction 1, direction 2, and direction 3. And now here is where we're going to change stuff. So on the first one, make sure we're starting with the Z. We're going to go -1. And then we're going to go +1 on the Z. And then on the next one, it's going to be -1 on the X. And then +1 on the X. On the last one. So make sure that you got that section, these here all correct. We do, fantastic. Then we're going to create a byte. And we're just going to call it byte 0 instead of B0. like it was before. We're going to make that equal to 3. And now we're going to do a bunch of if statement stuff. Whew. Okay, so if direction dot, now this is where it's going to get, so we're going for func. Now you're going to get a list of funcs here. We need j, which is 1493730 underscore j. And direction dot func, same one. If that and that is true, then byte is equal to, or byte 0 is equal to 3. Now we're going to copy this 3 more times. And we're going to have 4 of them in total. And then we're going to go direction 1, direction 1, direction 2, direction 2, direction 3, direction 3. And then we're just going to change our byte. So the first one is 3, the second one is 2, third one is 5, and the last one is 4. Okay. Now, just outside of those if statements, we're going to type in world.set block metadata with notify. We're going to go x, y, z, byte 0, and then a flag of 2. I'm not going to bother explaining flags because it's, I don't know. I don't really understand it quite myself, but it's got to be done. It's one of the parameters, and I know that it's a flag. All right, that function's done. On to the next one. So the next one is going to be when the block is placed. So public void on block placed by. Just a second, I gotta take a drink. That's better. So as when it's placed by, we're gonna go world int x, int y, int z. Entity living base entity. Item, and then an item stack is the last one. Item stack, just go item stack. Import entity living base, Command Shift Control Shift O. And we're on to it. So I don't know what this does here. Anyone I seem to ask doesn't really know either. At least they don't. They haven't told me. So I'm just going to type it out. Math helper. Well, this has to do with again with what direction the block was actually being placed. It's got more to do with that. But this exact line, I'm not quite sure what it's doing, but it's doing something. So we're going to go math helper dot floor underscore, we want double. Okay. Now we need to cast this to a double. So we're going to put an extra set of parentheses and type in double. And then outside of those inside set of parentheses, space, and then we're another set of parentheses, entity dot rotation yaw times 4.0 f divided by 360.0 f. Outside of those first set of inside parentheses plus 0.5 f or 0.5 d, and then outside of those and 3. Okay, so I kind of get what this is doing. So what this is doing is it's giving us directions of 90 degrees. So, 0, 90, 180, 270, 360. That's what it's giving us. It's giving us, just because blocks can't be placed on 45 degree angles, they can only be placed on 90 degree angles. Now, if they ever so like with signs, they implemented this with signs where you can place a sign on a 45-degree angle, or really any angle. So this would, of course, change. But yeah, that's what that's doing. It's giving us direction 90, 180, 270, 360. So now if direction, and it's actually it's putting it into 0, 1, 2, and 3. Instead of 90 again, yeah, instead of 190. So I'm gonna go through this a little bit more. Entity dot rotation yaw. Okay, so it's giving the full rotation. Okay, and then we're going. So it's giving. So the rotation yaw is 360 degrees. We're timesing that, or rotation yaw. Or would that be entity rotation yaw? Because we're timesing it by 4. So it's probably gonna be 90. Then we're timesing it by 4, and then we're dividing it by 360, which is going to give us 0, 1, 2, or 3. And then we're timesing it by 0.5 and other stuff. So it's either way, direction. This is giving us 0, 1, 2, or 3. Alrighty. So direction. So if direction is equal to 0, then we're going to go world.set block world.set come on world.set block. Oh my god, I am horrible. Set block metadata with notify. We're going to go x y z x, not z. Okay, so that's going to be y, z, direction 2 and 2. Okay, and now we're going to copy this line 3 more times. This is going to be 1, 2, 3. And the second last parameter is going to change. It's going to be 2. And the next one's going to be it's going to be 5, and then the next one's going to be 3, and the next one's going to be 4. Cool? Cool. All right, there we go. We've done that, and we're actually we're pretty much done this function as well. So then right there. So we're going to go if item stack dot has display name. 2 sets of parentheses. Tile entity SP furnace. Okay, and then go outside of the first set, or the inside set, and world dot get tile entity XYZ. Outside of both, dot furnace name item stack dot get display name. Cool. This actually goes there. Now, okay, so that's going to give us an error because we haven't created the tile entity and stuff, and then that's going to give us an error after because we haven't created that function within the tile entity. At least I think that's what we're doing with that. I haven't got there yet. So, yeah, that's the thing. So that one's finished. So now we gotta do update the block states and what happens when the block breaks.